Sign up for the Agranak Studios newsletter at agranak.com. Are you running your game, or is your game running you? Today we're going to talk about something that all dungeon masters need to hear. You are the master of the game. Or as Professor Dungeon Master has said in the past, let's put the master back into Dungeon Master. You set the tone, the rules, the world, and the experience. So let's take back the control of your game and run a game that you actually want to play. We're going to go over 4 things. Number 1, the DM's fun matters too. Number 2, use the rules that serve you. Number 3, set expectations early. And number 4, run the game you want to play. Stick around till the end for a bonus tip.
Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss an upload. And join the conversation over at the Agranak Cult Discord.
Alright, number 1, the DM's fun matters too. There's plenty of advice out there that shows the Dungeon Master how to make the game fun for players, and you should watch them. There's far less videos out there that talk about the DM's fun. Let me put it another way. If you as a DM are not having fun, the game is going to suffer. You are the arbiter of worlds. You're the referee. You are the host and the glue of every session that you run. Make sure you're playing the game that you want to play. The game really needs to excite you as well as the players. Look, if you hate bookkeeping, then go rules light. If you like cosmic horror, put that flavor in your game. If you want roleplay to be a focus, then make it a focus. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I am addicted to TTRPGs, but I'm not a gamer. I can't tell you how many times my players have come to me and asked me to play games like Catan, Munchkin, or Blood Bowl, and my response is always the same. It's no. I know me. If I'm not playing a TTRPG, other games just fall flat, and I personally feel like I'm wasting my time. You don't have to be that way, but I'm that way. Find out what you like and jump in and have fun. Number 2, use the rules that serve you. The rule book is a toolbox, not a sacred text. If a rule slows things down or doesn't fit your vibe, then get rid of it. I do believe that we have to have a core. With me, I play classic D&D. 6 stats, roll high in combat and beat an AC, roll low for ability and skill checks, and roll above your savings throw. Done. But I have standard homebrew at my table as well. I'm old school, and when I used to play back in the day, you could go to a different dungeon master's house and play the game every night of the week and have different homebrew rules. It was just the standard. You had your basics like the above, but there was always some sort of tweak, like critical failure charts, using spell points instead of spell slots, no encumbrance tracking, the use of spell components for all spells or not. You may want to get rid of certain rules as written, and that is okay. But just make sure that everyone's on the same page. More on that next. Number 3, set expectations early. Your players will adapt to your style if they know what to expect. A session 0 might be the right thing, but I would suggest maybe writing it down in a text document, outlining all the tweaks, especially if you're using an established system like classic D&D. Things to include might be what house rules are in play, what's the tone of the campaign, how much crunch versus freedom storytelling. Are you allowing furries in your campaign like Dragonborn, or is it all humans? Or maybe you like a rule from another system like Shadowdark, such as torch tracking, so you set a little timer, and when that timer goes off, a torch goes out. Drop it into your document. This way, everyone's going to know about all the different little nuances of your personal game. Having said that, it's okay to change something that's not working mid-campaign. Just make sure that you discuss it with your players, come to a conclusion, and then move forward. Number 4, run the game you want to play. If you were a player, what kind of game would you want to be in? Build that game and campaign. Maybe you want to play survival horror or a world of noble duels and honor. Don't run generic fantasy just because that's what people are expecting. Craft something unique to your interests. Personally, I love classic fantasy medieval, so I lean into that, but I also put in elements of cosmic horror, interactions with the gods, and there's probably always a dragon somewhere. There should should be more dragons in a game called Dungeons and Dragons. At least that's what I think. Okay, bonus. Be confident in your decisions. The Dungeon Master sets the pace and the direction of the game. Obviously, you're the referee. If you make a ruling, own it. Listen, you don't need to justify every ruling with an actual rules reference. I know you rules lawyers are squirming right now. Let them, and hopefully they'll see themselves out from the game. They can go and find other rules lawyers to play with because that's the game they want to play. Nothing wrong with that. I just don't want to play with them at my table. And I have much less conflict because most of them that have played at my tables are now not at my table. That being said, encourage player creativity, but don't let rules lawyers dictate how your game works. Now, there is an antithesis to this, and that is if you're one of those asshat DMs that's a dictator, sort of the my way or the highway kind of a DM, that's really toxic. Learn how to not do that or don't play with people that are like that. My audio rolled a natural one, so I've got to redo the outro. So to wrap it up, at the end of the day, the game should be fun for you too. Dungeons and Dragons is about imagination, storytelling, and a shared experience. But the Dungeon Master is still the master of the dungeon and the dragons. So go forth and craft the world that you want like a true master. What's a rule that you've ignored or changed in your game? Let me know in the comments. All right, everyone. Thanks for stopping by Agranak Studios today, and we'll see you on the next one. Later. This video was brought to you by the generous support of our patrons. Consider becoming a patron so you can help us make more content like this. Or get yourself a t-shirt below. Later.
Alright, do this and do that and do this and do that. And watch this video.